Build off of the second half of last year. Obviously, a lot of our group is new. And so getting those guys up to speed with the guys that are returning and where we're at, how we do things. One, we have to set the standard of, how we want to do things. And then outside of that, it's just, focusing on each and every day individually and not getting too far ahead of ourselves with where we're at, but taking it day by day and winning each week.
As the Shamrocks head into their second season in the North American Hockey League, Casey Kirley dives into detail on this episode of NA Now on how Watertown is looking to build off their second half of their first season and what the summer has looked like as they gear up for the year.
It's been busy. For basically from the time the season got over through the month of June, we were on the road. Both my assistant Griff, Jessica, and myself going to different camps, different showcases, looking for players to help fill our roster for this coming season. So that was busy. And then through July, we had our main camp and then preparing for training camp here. And we just got underway earlier this week. So it's been busy, but it's been fun and we're excited for year two.
With training camp going on right now for the Shamrocks, what has impressed you the most with the athletes you've seen?
Well, one, we just got done with our testing. All the guys came in really good shape, which is obviously they should, but it's obviously it's good that there's we have high standards and that they're meeting those right off the bat. The other part is our compete level. I think the compete level of the guys that we have here is very good, and I think that it'll help us have success going forward here this season.
Absolutely. And last season, you were named as the inaugural head coach for the Shamrocks. What lessons have you learned from last year that you're hoping to carry on into this season?
I think, like last year, at the beginning of the year, we were the youngest team in the league. It took us a little bit to get going. And going through those growing pains, I think it made us better as an entire organization. And with the players that were here and went through that, the second half of the year went really well for us. So it's a testament to their stick-to-itiveness and their wanting to get better and keep pushing. And so we're looking to build off of that going forward.
Absolutely. And for yourself, you know the family of leagues very well because you once played in the North American Hockey League. How has your time in the league really shaped you and grew you as not only as a player, but into a coach now as you head into your second season as the head coach of the Shamrocks?
Yeah, playing in the league, it was my first time moving away from home when I was 18, 19. In those 2 years, kind of helped shape me as a person and become a young adult, and then obviously going to college, and after that going and coaching in the NA3HL for a couple of seasons. I've been a part of the league for a long time, and I think the league does a great job, and it's something that, or it's a league that a lot of people want to be a part of, and it's a great league. And as far as going into year two and kind of things that our players from last year can take into year two is that it's hard. It's like the league itself. It's a heavy league. It's an honest league, and it really helps people grow, not just as players, though, as individuals as well, as far as the community service and things like that we do off the ice.
From your time playing in the league to now coaching, what have you seen grow the most inside the league?
The players now are a lot better than when I was playing in the league. Just the talent in general and the depth overall. Like the guys that are playing now are much better than when we were playing. That's probably the biggest thing. And then I will say, like my peers, the other coaches in this league, do a tremendous job of developing the players, getting them ready to play college hockey, and ultimately advancing them to those levels.
Looking at last season's roster, it featured 12 athletes securing NCAA commitments. How does it feel as a coach to see your athletes get those opportunities at that next level?
That's the goal, right? For junior hockey players, is that they want to play college hockey, and for a team in year one to have 12 college commitments, that's something that we're very proud of. Outside of that, too, we had 13 guys play for us last year that are moving to the USHL, and eventually they'll play college hockey, too. So to have those kind of advancements coming from year one, that means the world to us as an organization. We understand that that's our job, and our goal is to give the players the tools and opportunities to grow as people and as players so that they can advance in their careers and advance, moving into their futures.
What drives you as a coach?
I want to help, give these young guys tools to succeed both on the ice and off the ice. I think in Watertown we're very fortunate with the people that we have here, from ownership all the way to front office to the other coaches that we work with, scouting staff. It's all very good people. They do a great job, and they're really invested into what we have as a team here, and different outside sources bringing in skills coaches, mental performance coaches, things like that, and setting players up for success, in their futures. Those are kind of the things that, especially in Watertown for me, that I like and I enjoy is that we, as an organization, we really invest in the players, and when they take advantage of the opportunities and the tools and things like that we have for them, I think it's obviously showing that guys, when they take advantage of that, they're able to advance and move on.
And with your experience coaching in the league, what makes the players in the North American Hockey League a little bit different than any other junior league out there?
It's the compete level is obviously number one. Every player in this league knows how to compete. It's a hard league. It's a heavy league. The coaches do a great job of making sure that players play an honest 200-foot game. Outside of that, like, the season's long. It's a grind. You really have to be passionate about the game, and you have to, want to show up to the rink every day and want to compete and want to do things the right way, in order to stick. And I think ultimately when guys move up to higher levels, that's something that, coaches at higher levels, they can rely on guys that play the North American League to do things the right way, to be good people, and to contribute, to their teams as well.
And you talked a little bit about guys moving on and getting that opportunity at the next level and advancement, even if it's going to Tier 1 junior hockey. As you look at the roster for this upcoming season, what holes are you trying to fill?
We have, on paper, we could, in theory, have a lot of guys returning, but a lot of them have advanced. So for us right now, we got to find scoring. That was obviously a focus for us last year. Towards the end of the year, once we started scoring more goals, started winning more games. But we got to find guys that can score goals. And then defensively, we need to allow less. I guess it's kind of both ends of the rink there. But our goaltending should be in good shape. We have Mason Goodridge coming back, who we got him halfway through the season last year, and he was unbelievable for us while we had him here. And we have a couple defensemen returning, a couple forwards returning, but I think ultimately we do still have some holes to fill, and hopefully throughout training camp here we can find the players to do so.
With having returners, how important is it to have them in the locker room and kind of lead the guys into this second season for the Shamrocks organization?
It means a ton. Obviously, there's, especially the guys that were here for the entire season or the majority of the season, going through those growing pains. It helps them grow as people, to see into like where we came from, and then how we progressed, and then the second half of the season when things were going well, like what were we doing differently then than the first half of the year. So to have those dealing with like the adversities, the first half of the year to the second half of the year, they can help the young guys come up and teach them how to play the right way and how we want to play, and what we do as a team. And then off the ice too, the community service is a huge thing for us, and showing guys or leading guys that, hey, like the organization might have community service volunteering stuff planned for us, but our guys did a great job last year, especially if we had a guy like Owen Chartier who won the community service award for the league. Guys like that, like that's what we expect of guys, and that's kind of the standard here. So it means a lot to have the handful of guys that we do have returning. Means the world to have them back.
Talking about the organization, the Watertown Shamrocks took home Organization of the Year. And what have you seen from the Shamrocks organization, and also the city of Watertown really invest in the team, into the organization in their first season?
Yeah, starting with the facilities here, the rink's now maybe a year and a half old, and the people that backed that and the people that were able to get that done here in the city, it's great that they were able to do that. That was obviously, I believe, step one for getting a team here. Then step two, like our ownership group is fantastic, with Vince Foley and Mark Gulbranson. And then, you look at the front office staff, with Ryan and Ann. They do a tremendous job of, finding things to make games entertaining, just, not just like the on ice product, but the in arena atmosphere and things like that. And then from a standpoint of the community's really rallied around us. I think last year we had 20 sellouts, and then the last 5 home games of the year we hit max capacity. So the support from the city has been incredible. And I think obviously as, we grew as a team on the ice, they recognized the effort that was put in, and they came out and supported us. And we're fortunate that the second half of the year we were able to figure out how to start winning games, and kind of give the fans more entertainment when they're coming out to Shamrocks games. So,
well, with that, not everyone at home gets to experience a Watertown Shamrocks game. And like you said, there was 20 sellouts this past season for Shamrocks. What is the atmosphere like inside of that arena, and what is the fan base like?
It's an incredible atmosphere. With the sellouts, there's nowhere to sit when people come here. We're hitting standing room every night, right? So having the fans there and the way that the arena is set up, the seats are right on top of the glass, so it's loud. The fans get into it, and when you get that kind of energy in the arena, our guys feed off of that, and then the fans feed off of the guys feeding off the energy. And it's kind of a synergistic thing where it's a very special place to play our home games at, and it's. I think I touched on it a minute ago, but like the in-arena activities and different things for the fans, there's always something new every day. And it's, the on-ice thing is one thing, and then the off-ice, for the fans, things that they can do. And then for the town, it's kind of like a community center where it's Friday and Saturday nights, everyone is going to the game, and it's dead in town while the game's going on because everyone's out there. It's almost like high school football in Texas or something like that. So it's a great atmosphere.
That's really fun to hear. And as you look ahead for this upcoming year, what are some of your main goals for the team?
Build off of the second half of last year. Obviously, a lot of our group is new. And so getting those guys up to speed with the guys that are returning and where we're at, how we do things. One, we have to set the standard of, how we want to do things. And then outside of that, it's just, focusing on each and every day individually and not getting too far ahead of ourselves with where we're at, but taking it day by day and winning each week.
With the greatest show on ice quickly approaching, all the teams will head to Blaine, Minnesota for the NA Showcase. What are you looking forward to most once you're there with your team?
The thing probably we're looking forward to most is the fact that every college is there. There's pro teams there watching guys. And, again, like, the league gives these guys an opportunity to be seen by, every team at higher levels. And there's nothing that, shows that more than the showcase does. Right. So we're looking forward to, having our guys ready to go for that and showing themselves well so they get, some looks for the future.
And to kind of wrap up this interview, reflecting on last season, what was one of your favorite memories with the Shamrocks?
I don't know if there's a specific one. I would think just the season as a whole was a great memory of seeing where it started from in training camp of last year, and then how it progressed to the end of the season where, the max capacity crowds and the guys being out in the community. And it's really been a special place to be. So I don't know if there's a specific moment or anything like that, but just watching, how it started from day zero to, what it's become has been an incredible thing to be a part of.
Absolutely. Well, Casey, thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. We'll see you in a few short weeks at the NA Showcase.
Thank you, Ava.